Hey folks, it's Viejo here. The video you're about to see here is one that I'm reposting from my previous channel that had been deleted. So if you've seen this video, feel free to bypass it and move along to something else. Won't hurt my feelings at all. But I have had some requests to repost some of the videos from that other channel that are not likely to get channel strikes against them. So we're going to do that. And at the beginning of each of those videos, you'll see this very same prologue, so you'll know. All right, happy shooting, casting, and reloading to everybody. Catch you later. Well, hey guys, it's Viejo here. It is the beginning of the third week of January in 2022. We got another nice day here on the central coast of California. We've got 62 degrees here in the garage, 56% humidity, a couple projects going on. I got some 38 brass in the dryer. It's not sunny enough outside to do the drying in the sun, so I had wet tumbled it, and it's in the Lyman case dryer now. And I'm going to do some powder coating this afternoon, but that's not why we're here now. This is part 2 of the series I'm doing on 4440, particularly about this revolver. And today we're going to just take a closer look at the revolver itself. I have had it through the range once. I fired 25 rounds through it of 2 or 3 different kinds of ammo that I had made up just as kind of some test stuff to see what would happen. And it fired really well and did a good job, but that's as far as I've gotten into shooting it. But let me bring you down closer and we'll look at some of the finer detail on here. We're going to do some metrics and take the measurements and let you know where it stands in those regards. Again, this revolver has been safety cleared. Okay, nothing in it. We look at the roll stamp here. You can see Cimarron, Fredericksburg, Texas, and Uberti of Italy. 44 WCF. And if we come down in here closer, we can kind of see we got very nice bluing on the barrel and frame. Nice job on the color case hardening. The fit of our grips is at least decent. Okay, so they did a nice job there. We got a little tension screw there for the spring. Take a look down the other side. The grips are nice. The hardwood there is nothing, outlandishly spectacular, but they are uniform on both sides. Okay, they do appear to have been cut from the same piece, and we have both right and left thumb cutouts here, which makes our grip nice. Okay, thumb fits right in there really well. Okay, it's actually a pretty good fit for me. Okay, loading the cylinder is just what you would expect from a single action 6-shooter here. There's no other safety feature in this firearm other than, being at half cock and carrying on an empty cylinder. So we load 1, skip 1, load 4. These are empty cases, all right? And then what that's going to do is bring us up an empty cylinder right here. Then to remove our spent cases, just like on any other single action, okay, we've got an ejector rod that comes up here. These are brand new cases, so they would just fall out. But if they don't come out like that, then you can use your ejector rod. If we look down the barrel here, we can see that that front side is really skinny. And when we're lined up, it can be tough to pick that guy up. It was one of the things I found when I went to shoot it the first time. Now, when that sight is lined up just like that, that front blade, it's shot dead center pinwheel at 7 yards with held right on target, okay? But it's hard to see there. A really skinny front blade. So to remove the cylinder, we're going to go back to half cock, open the gate, depress our cross pin, and out comes the cylinder. All right, so very simple, and having that cross bolt there is really handy. Cylinder itself, pretty straightforward, nothing you wouldn't expect to see there. Overall, I have to say I'm quite pleased with this revolver. Retail price on Cimarron's website is $639, and that's what I had to pay for it. There's no street prices, at least not in my town. And it did have to be special ordered. They're just difficult to find firearms right now, as you know. But I didn't think it was outrageously priced. We're in that neighborhood for a Ruger Blackhawk. And try to find one in 4440. So nice firearm, well executed. The whole thing is well done. Other than their departure from historical accuracy with a couple of things that they did. They took out the base pin and put that cross bolt in there for the cylinder spindle, and that's actually, I'm okay with that. This is not an original firearm anyway, and that just makes life a whole lot easier in getting that cylinder in and out of there. As far as the cylinder itself goes, man, there is no head shake in this cylinder at all. This thing locks up tighter than a drum. In fact, returning the cylinder back into the frame takes a little bit of wiggling to get that thing in there. It's a tight fit, which is good, and when it locks up, there's no movement at all, not a millimeter. It really is well fitted there. I like the finish on it. I like the bluing. I like the grips. They did a good job all the way around. As far as shooting it, it's not a heavy revolver at all. And I shot some relatively light loads, 200 grain bullets at around 800 feet per second, and very low recoil shooting at that level. And that's what I like, as you know. I'm not after a big push on recoil. So now let's go get some of these metrics done. We're going to measure our cylinder throats. We're going to weigh the revolver. We're going to check the trigger pull. And we're going to slug the barrel. Cimarron claims 41.6 ounces. Let's give them 42 ounces. That would be 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So we're right there. All right, for this step, we're going to measure our cylinder throats with the pin gauge set. And we'll start with 430. Now this is a -2 set. The 430 goes, and there's a little bit of wobble. So we'll go up to the next one. 431 fits that cylinder. Let's try 432. 432 does not go. So now, we know that we are maybe just a little bit more than 431, but not 432. Okay, and again, since these are a -2 tolerance, we could be right there. Let's see if the 432 will go into any of these. No. That's no, 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 no. How about our 431? Does it go into all of them? Yes. Yes there. Yes there. Yes there. Yes there. Yes there. I had to do voiceover here, guys. There's a lot of construction going on in the background. But we're going to go ahead and use the Lyman trigger pull gauge. I did this a number of times. So on the first click here, we got 4 pounds, 2.8 ounces. And then we'll reset it and do it again. And this time we get about 4 pounds, 7 ounces. And each time it gave us between 4 and 4.5 pounds. I'm going to use this barrel slugging kit from Meister bullets. These are a little bit pricey. They are caliber specific, and I have this set that I've already used a couple times for 44 caliber, and I have several firearms that we use this for, so it was worth it to me to buy the kit. Okay, you're going to need some pieces of dowel rod. This is 3/8, which is just about right for this one. Dowel rod obviously can't be larger diameter than your barrel. You'll need several shorter pieces to help get things started, and then one kind of a maybe 3 inches long or so. Once you get that slug well started into the barrel, then you go to the next one, and then you can either use your long one after that, or you can use several short pieces that are short enough to fall out the end down here so that you can get them out. Sometimes these things will peen over a little bit and they'll get kind of nasty and will hang up in the barrel. So that's your choice on what you're going to do. This is a softer material and it gets all beat up really fast, so I go through a lot of this. If you can get your hands on some hardwood dowel of the appropriate diameter, use that instead. The instructions say to not use any oil, but I'm going to just put a very small drop of oil on my slug. Just the thinnest of coats. And then we will start the slug into the barrel. And they tell us to put a small dab of grease right here between the slug and your driving pin. And so we've got a little bit of Hoppy's gun grease. So as we do this, we have the butt and the muzzle well protected here as best we can, as well as our hands. And we'll just continue driving that slug all the way down the barrel. You can start to hear it. The tone will change. And we can now go to a longer piece of rod and just keep using this piece and cutting the ends as necessary as they mushroom over. You can see about how far we are down in there. This guy will not be quite long enough to go all the way through. So when we get down close to the end, I'll pull this out and put a shorter piece in there. And there we are, right at 430. Now coming up on the next video, we're going to talk a little bit about the casting, and let me show you the molds that I'm going to use. So I'm going to be casting for this with 3 molds, 2 of kind of an older genre. These are both 0.427 diameter molds, so I'm going to have to cast these a little bit harder to fatten them up a little bit. We're going to powder coat them anyway, so not likely to be an issue. And then one relatively newcomer, the Lee. So let me show you these. I'll bring them up close here and you can see the model numbers. I hope you can see that. This is a Lyman 427098. This mold not made anymore as far as I know. Then one of my nice Hensley and Gibbs molds. This is the number 44. Okay, it's another 427. Okay, obviously not made anymore either. 2 cavity. The Lyman here is 2 cavity also. And then the third player here is going to be this Lee 429-200 RF. Come on, focus in there for me, will you? There we go. Okay, and this is a nice bullet for the 44-40. 200 grain bullet is kind of the standard, somewhere between 200 210 grains, provided your 44-40 has a newer size barrel. This would not be a particularly good choice if we were talking about a 427 diameter groove diameter barrel. So those are going to be the 3 players that I'll be using out with this revolver. So we'll be looking forward to that. Again, if you're looking for a 44 revolver, I can recommend this one so far. Time will tell, see how it holds up. But the first shooting experience at the indoor range the other night went very well. I was happy with it. You know how it goes. You know, a brand new firearm. It's kind of like taking an old, well-known firearm out to shoot your very first hand load, right? Remember how that went? You know, you're like, oh, I hope nothing happens. But that was kind of the way it was with this guy. But I was very happy with how it performed. No runs, no hits, no errors, and it shot well. So there you have it. That's it for this video. Again, next week we'll be looking at the casting, but for now, that's all she wrote.